Let me in. Okay. Really need to figure out how to get to that corner of the basement. Like, I feel it'd be a connecting building or something. We haven't really run into anything like that. Alright, hopefully she's still here. I don't know when she closed up shop. Okay, cool.
Oh, it's you again. Are you looking for a die?
I came back to pick up my die.
Excellent. That will be 10 real for one set of magnetic dice.
Alright. Here you go.
This was an especially fun set to make.
She says as she opens her drawer and hands you a sparkling pair of dice. Look at them.
Dazzling. It's like you have a pair of tiny disco balls in your hand.
Alright. Got a fairly even chance. Let's go for it.
A gust of cold air
Fantastic.
sweeps through the chimney. The stones and minerals on the shelves rattle as though agitated. For a moment, it almost feels as though you're outside the building, exposed to the atmosphere.
Alright, this is still just a theory, but hear me out. I think I know where your business hasn't failed.
Didn't we already talk about this?
She asks as the wind continues to seep in through the cracks in the old chimney. It's because you're not in the same building as the others. This isn't technically the doomed commercial area.
What are you talking about? My address is exactly the same. Rue de Saint-Guilain 10.
No, the old coal plant that used to be here was subsumed into the new venture. Its room.
One hypothesis I have is that door in the kitchen connects to the other part of the basement, but...
City.
No, this used to be a coal plant. You're in a chimney of another building.
This doesn't make any sense.
She looks around the makeshift nest that she has carved out for herself,
Are
bewildered.
you saying my business was spared because of a technicality? Where is this coming from?
Alright. There's a different address in the heart of the city.
What? Does it mean that I'm safe from failure?
No one's really ever safe from the failure.
She starts laughing, her fingers trying to rub away the exhaustion from her face.
What?
Do you know what this is?
She raises her hand to reveal a piece of shiny metal on her index finger. Lucky charm? A Seminese ward?
It's a mourning ring. I made this when my first company failed. It was a small jewelry shop right here in the East Delta Commerce Center.
Oh, she did say she was a jeweler, yeah.
From my parents. I drove it into the ground within a year. I didn't have what you would call a viable business plan.
Why are you telling me this?
It wasn't just a jewelry shop either. I always thought that it was just the world that you were supposed to try again and again until you finally succeed. And now you're telling me what? That it was all because I didn't run my little shops and ventures from a dump inside an abandoned chimney?
Don't call it a dump. You made it nice and cozy here.
Yeah. Or maybe it's the entire world that's cursed. It's such a precarious place. Nothing ever works out the way you want it.
Fuck.
That's why people like role-playing games. You can be whoever you want to be, you can try again.
Getting back into the meta commentary.
There is something inherently violent even about dice rolls. It's like every time you cast a die, something disappears.
Ooh, that's a good
Some alternative
interpretation.
ending or an entirely different world.
Best laid plans, mice and men, all that shit. She picks up a pair of dice from the table and examines them under the light.
But
My friend turned the backlight back on. We're not doing
thanks for
spooks right
sharing
now.
your theories, officer.
Alright. Cool. Oh, did our thought complete? Or did we get a new one to work on? Something finished over here. Oh, we're close. Okay, it's getting close. Alrighty. Okay, we do have a point. Alright, where do I want to drop that? Perception. We're going to do savoir-faire for the, We've done nothing in conceptualization, so... Go for that. Honestly, that might serve me. I think that was something I wanted to work on anyway, so... Okay. Alright, so we're done with that. I'm gonna head out. If Kuno's still up, we'll talk to him. The driver guy should still be there at least. I gotta double check to see if I still have my empathy shoes on. I think it was the shoes that used to be Tiago's. Yeah. Oh, the dice. These 100-sided dice are made of ivory and inlaid with magnetic lodestone. When rolled together, pips on the dice interact with each other by pulling and pushing, just like magnetic personalities. Look at the map of the journal to see which white checks have opened. Okay. Yeah, all the different dice sets reopen specific white checks. Alright, around here for the guy. Or is it up and around? What else was there to do here? Speakers from the people of Samara. Oh. It's here. Okay. I think he may have called it a night. Alright, well, we'll come back tomorrow. Kuno's probably in bed too. But I think I can scoot into the No, he's still here. Alright, we'll try Kuno.
Fuck, does Kuno care?
You would
Finally.
last time. Think this through. Try to really understand the psychological bond Kuno has with Kuno S.
Okay, so what's the deal with Kuno S?
Just look. While Kuno has no problem being near you, she always hides behind the fence, afraid for her life. Like she's done something very bad. She came up with that psychopathic scheme of screaming for help before. Kuno just wanted to talk to you about his name. Kuno S was the one who wound him up and directed him. Also, Kuno hasn't stopped talking to you, even enjoys it from time to time. When you talk to the other one, it's like talking to a cornered animal. She only hisses.
Yeah, very loudly.
Then there's
And
the fact
shrilly.
that she's a girl and appears to be a little younger, certainly smaller. And yet Kuno is afraid of her. What's up with that, Kuno?
We don't have to gender it.
No.
But
Kuno respects madness. You cannot hope to outdo her on that front. You must win yourself a few minutes with him alone.
interesting. How?
Kuno S is by far the worst of the two. Kuno has no problem being near you, but the other
Okay.
behind the fence.
So we gotta
afraid
scare her off.
like she's done. She came up with that psych also, and then all in all, Kuno respects madness. You cannot hope to outdo her on that front. You must win yourself a few minutes with him alone.
Alright. Try and separate them.
Whispering about.
He whispers back.
He's whispering too. He's going with it. But watch what happens.
Fuck you, f***ing whispering about!
She puts extra stress onto that word, expecting it will make you uncomfortable.
If Kuno wants to whisper, he's gonna fucking whisper, okay? Let's whisper, pig.
This is it. You've got him. But be careful. You can still fuck this up. Don't make Kuno look bad in this.
Alright, what's up with her? She's terrifying. Crazy scary.
Crazy. You don't know the half of it. She's not crazy. She's insane. Dangerous. She's smoked a man. She's done people in. Probably even pigs.
Stop talking to him! Kuno, I'm fucking warning you! You're gonna get us into shit!
She understands what you're trying to do.
Yo, see? Did Kuno...
I like the extra commentary here. It helps a lot.
Kuno talks to whoever he wants. Talk, pig. Kuno's got it under control.
He hunches down
Who
again.
did it? They're separate.
Yes.
He's even turned his back to her so she can't read his lips. Fuck. She can read lips. You should cup your mouth.
Alright. What do you mean she smoked someone?
Kuno means she killed someone. That's right. She's a killer. Like, actually a killer.
His little green eyes are fixed on yours. He's meant everything he said before. But right now, he not only means it, he is sincere.
Really? Isn't she too small to overpower someone?
Are you getting this? You think I'm fucking telling you a joke here? How hard do you think it is to kill a fat ass? Sweet talk him, then knife him. She's probably killed a pig too. I mean, I'm pretty sure she has.
Okay, how many cops has she killed then?
Forget Kuno said that. Kuno was just shitting. Kuno was just running his mouth. Kuno's stupid like that.
Self-aware Kuno is really weirding me out, but okay. He feels the eyes in the back of his head and stops.
Would be too large for her to overpower. But a determined child of her size can still kill the vulnerable, the elderly, the homeless, or other children. The creature peers at you both from over the fence. There is something searching in her eyes. Fear.
Okay. Do you think it's possible she's killed other children?
Kuno falls silent. He doesn't
shit.
look at you when he replies.
Kuno, there, that's it. That's what Kuno is starting to think here.
He usually looks you straight in the eye. A little something just crumbled there. Don't move your head. Just from the corner of your eye, look at her.
Look at her.
Though her friend spoke too low for her to hear, Kuno S is not smiling anymore.
Do you think she has anything to do with the dead man?
Kuno wasn't around, and C was with Kuno. Told you this already.
Okay, where were you?
Look, Kuno's gonna put you at ease. We didn't do it.
He speaks the truth, my liege.
Alright. Alright, you said she's insane?
Yeah, she's psycho. None of that kiddie psycho. Cat burning shit. She does the real deal.
What's the real deal?
Snuff radio shit. Believe me, pig, you don't want to know.
You're right, I don't.
Like the private radio stations Noid mentioned, he doesn't want to think about it. This isn't just another boast.
Alright. What's that language she uses? Nabakimpi Fagati?
Fuck knows. She says it's the song of her people or some shit.
What people?
Crazy people. The fucking Nakis. I don't know.
That sounds like a slur.
Sounds boreal, like something from the tundra and tiger-covered Cutler, Isola. Far, far away from here. As far as possible, really.
Do they have red-haired people there?
You mean evil little red-haired people like her? Yes, they do. The Suruese have that ginger gene.
Kuno, could you be Sudoese?
Surois. Like that man from Shelmdall shit.
Oh no.
She could be that.
The path to understanding her better not be that Helmdall shit.
Revelshot does have a small Suruese community. Or she climbed into a yakberry crate and was shipped over accidentally.
Is she your sister?
Fuck no, she's not my sister. She's just a stray who got in. Like a mad dog or some shit.
Stray.
Yeah, she was just there.
He points at the apartment building behind the fence.
What was that, Kuno?
The little one twists her neck, looking at the building.
She was in the hallway, dripping wet, by the fucking shoe rack, in the dark.
A shoe cupboard just off to the right. Have you been to this place?
That hallway there with the janitor's closet? Oh, I think we've walked past that a couple times, but it wasn't interactive.
Yeah, that's the place. She was just balled up near the closet, psycho style.
This is going to turn out to be a lot more tragic than Kuno's letting on. Why was she dripping wet?
Her hair was all wet. I think she pissed on the floor too. She was there for 3 days, in the corner, every time Kuno went out.
You said she got in? How?
I don't know. Someone left the door open. Kuno comes home, and she's sleeping under the desk, under the pile of clothes, like a dog.
What about your parents?
Kuno's dad doesn't give a shit. Doesn't even see her there, or thinks it's fucking Kuno. Shit's all on Kuno.
Alright. How are you dealing with all this?
How's Kuno dealing? Kuno's dealing just fine. He doesn't need you. fucking with any of it. C doesn't either.
Alright.
Kuno's got this shit under control.
Alright, you need backup. I'm here for you.
Listen. C is Kuno's go-to. Kuno's protecting her. You fuck with C, you fuck with Kuno. You threaten her, you threaten to take her away.
This is what it all comes down to. He needs you to take him seriously now.
Shit.
I'm going to kill you. I'll run when you put the cuffs on her, sneak up on you later, and fuck you up. You understand?
The boy looks you in the eye, his black pupils trying to focus.
He may not be able to do it, but he will try. Right now, he believes he will.
Understood, Kuno.
Alright, now we can do business.
Alright, that sounds good. Business.
Yeah? What do you want? Kuno can hook you up with...
He starts, no longer whispering.
Hook him up with shit, Kuno.
See, relax. He respects the Kuno. Kuno made him.
We respect that. Alright.
You respect the Kuno, you get all kinds of shit.
I love shit.
Kuno's gonna get you
Of all
hooked on
kinds.
illegal narcotics. If you run a little errand for the Kuno, get you hooked, pig. Get his hook in you. Then Kuno gonna get you hooking for more. Cash in big style. Pig hooker. See, it's tension and release with Kuno. Now we releasing. The pan buying shit, that's on now too. 90% discount for Kuno's pig. Kuno can flex.
How much is 90% discount?
Kuno flexes for hobos.
15 bucks. Okay. Alright, we can get those tomorrow. Fantastic. Is that you running an errand and illegal narcotics, Kuno?
Kuno gets it from his dad. Kuno and his dad are major
Oh.
suppliers. That's where Kuno gets his lightning on. Problem is, Kuno and his dad had a little falling out. Now junkies clawing at Kuno's door. Streets going mad. Kuno's gotta throw his dirty popo man at it.
Okay, okay.
Dirty popo man is you. In there is Kuno's violent dad on steroids.
Oh, that's not great.
Kuno's dad does steroids and speed. If you can take him, you can have half of the speed.
Who's your dad, Kuno?
Kuno's dad is a fucking monster. He's the most violent man in Revachol.
Well, if he's violent, he might be the one with the gun is the thing, so...
Are you sure you can take on the most violent man in Revachol? In your condition?
Not really.
Don't expect to talk this one down. There are some situations your mouth can't get you out of.
Alright. How much material are we talking about?
Like half
Half of what?
a baggie, but like in this vial.
That's half a gram, sir.
Half a gram?
Yeah, half a G. Want it or not?
But that's not very much material at all.
Fuck you talking about half a G? This shit is giant grade A shit. So clean you can barely see it.
You can barely see it because there's barely any.
Alright, I've made up my mind, Kuno. This is what's gonna happen.
Okay. Kuno's listening.
Narky, alright. Okay, so we got... Get that speed because I need it. Going in there, but not for the speed. I'm going after the most violent man in Revachol.
Whatever. If you survive, make sure to bring that shit back to Kuno. Kuno's almost out. You wouldn't like the Kuno when he's out. Just get in the apartment building. Kuno knows you already fucked your way in. Kuno knows everything.
He aggressively points at his eyes.
Room 12, first floor, and kick down the door. Police violence style. Kuno style. And then it's action time. You're locked in the room with violent fuckheads. That's it. Next time Kuno sees you, you better have his shit.
What the hell are you signing us up for here?
Up. Come on, Kim. Obviously, we're not going to take it. We need to get drugs away from a minor.
Okay then.
Okay.
Kuno doesn't fucking care.
Alright, so we got to get 15 bucks to take care of that. We got to get our ass into the apartments now. Not for the drug thing. I don't think I'm built for that right now. I guess I could put on some more physical stuff, but my endurance and my pain threshold might not be enough. But we got to get to that meeting. And then if it's not super late, I will try to do the karaoke. Alright. Where the heck was it? Oh, tasks. There we go. It's not a check. Alright. Cape Side Apartments. 2,200 hours. Okay. Well, after 2,200 hours, so... One way or another, this will lead in there. Cindy's still topside. We got the password. It was the remember the two things. This is probably the apartment. Oh, I can't get into that one at all. Should probably save down here just in case. Worst comes worst, we catch the meeting tomorrow. Wait. No, that's the stairs out. They said first floor, so I feel like what we want is going to be on the second floor. There's a light on. Is Staban the mysterious guy? I mean, I wouldn't be surprised.
This door is made of metal and appears to be reinforced. Someone here really values their security. No one answers.
Let's go. There's nothing to do here for us anymore.
No one answers.
Let's go.
Okay. Alright, then what's left? I guess we could ask Cindy real quick. So which door this is?
Door hangs oddly.
That's 12.
Secured to the doorframe with a safety chain. An unpaid energy bill is attached, threatening to cut off the...
Oh, wait. I think I've seen this part played before. Yeah, we don't have to worry about our physical prowess for this.
Brigands. Palms go sweaty. The siren of amphetamine is singing you her song.
Alright. We'll come back to that. But that's the door we need for that. Okay. Oh. Yeah, I kind of remember how that shakes out, and I don't believe we need to be worried. Okay. We'll hang on to this. Shoe cupboard hasn't come up.
Give me a moment.
Alright. Do you know anything about a secret meeting happening tonight?
No, nobody tells me anything.
Would she understand if they did?
How about any unusual activity taking place after hours, say after
It
2200?
ain't my business. I'll keep my nose out of it. Well, I think we'd
Okay.
all be better off if people kept their noses to themselves.
Alright, looking for parents of a kid named Kuno?
The waiters are at the end of this hall,
Ah,
right next to the communal bathroom.
thanks. Oh, that's what that other door is then. That's the communal bathroom. Alright, that door's not interactive. We'll go out and talk to Cindy. There's only so many more doors left, you know?
Hello again, officers. Have you come to admire my mural?
Okay, now this is the call room. Did I not look at that before? Fire. You suddenly feel the box is on fire. Why? Oh. Oh, we can detect the drug now that we've taken some. Interesting. Alright. Oh, maybe it's in here? Because we couldn't interact with this before.
As you approach the metal grill,
Yep, that's it.
several voices having what appears to be an animated discussion. This must be it. Beyond this door lies the beating heart of radical communism in Martinez.
Let's hope.
Somehow, the night air softens the smell of trash and sea brine. As the breeze pulls through the canvas like a shuttle through a loom, you catch a hint of something unexpected. Something earthy, warm, and burnt. The acrid smell of failure. No, that's just slightly burnt. You would recognize anywhere.
Yeah.
Just look at these pigs sniffing about after hours.
Hey, it's past curfew. Get to bed, Cindy.
Go ahead and arrest me, officer. I swear I'll go peacefully.
You can feel her smirk through the dark.
The metal grill is cool to the touch.
She's fun, too.
You notice the lieutenant is looking uncustomarily anxious. His posture is rigid. His right hand hovers near the zipper of his jacket. He wants so badly to draw his armistice, but he also doesn't want to draw it.
You okay, Kim?
Oh, I'm fine. I was practically born to infiltrate underground communist cells.
He takes a quick look over his shoulder.
Just to say, we should be prepared for any eventuality.
Alright, let's take a listen.
Make out at
I should have
least
tried to sue them, but I wanted to ask how he was doing first.
2 voices, both male, approximately early 20s.
Careful with those now. I have it. It's going to work. I can feel it.
Alright, we'll
The
knock.
clang of metal reverberates all along the scaffolding.
Oof.
The voices coming from the other side fall silent. A pair of frightened ears cowering in some dark crevice of their burrow.
Who's there? Is that you, Maurice?
See, this sounds fake, but I'm not Maurice, so I don't want to lie to them either. Y'all communists. I'm looking for some communists.
Who said communist? Did we say communist? Get out of here.
Listen, I've already built like 0.001% of communism, but now I need to get organized. Can you help me?
For a moment, silence.
What's the passphrase?
Blessed of the sausage grinder. Alright, remember Dobrava and Abdenez.
There's no response. You begin to wonder whether they've slipped out some back way.
All right. The key's taped to the back of the door.
Hell yeah!
Just make sure you put it back when you're done, or we'll all be locked out.
Okay.
And do watch the concrete. It just kind of falls away, in places.
Charmant. After you, detective.
Have fun at your underground meeting, pig. Hope it's a blast.
It's gonna be so much more disappointing than what he might have worked it up to be, or what I've worked it up to be. I honestly don't know what to expect.
The 2 young men are either
Oh, they've got the coats though.
or ignoring your entrance. Their attentions are fixed on whatever it is they're stacking in the middle of the floor.
Some Lego ass nonsense. I love it.
Matchboxes, it appears.
Ah.
I think it's holding, Alexis.
It is. It's holding.
It's definitely not holding. Those matchboxes are stacked so haphazardly, it's like they want them to collapse.
Careful, careful.
This is adorable.
Damn, hardly any difference.
The young man shakes his head and then looks up at you and the lieutenant with barely concealed irritation.
You two, you are late.
Yeah.
They should know the meeting starts at 10 p.m. sharp.
His companion looks up at you and squints.
His eyes are tracing an invisible line back and forth from your jacket to his companion.
Hey, Esteban, isn't that your jacket?
Oops.
What a coincidence. You two have the same jacket. What are the odds?
Same coat! I totally stole it from his apartment, but yeah.
Based on the prevalence of white Sarah Maritzian suits in Martinez, extremely low.
It certainly looks like my jacket, Alexis. Where did you get that, gendarme?
Alright, must be a coincidence. I see these jackets all the time. No, he wouldn't believe that. I just found it in a room.
Yeah, I'm sure you did. That's real Sarah Maritzian twill. Only old Sarah Maritzian communists and drug smugglers wear those anymore.
He is neither of those, of course. He is simply a poor student putting on airs. Also, he doesn't have the shoulders to fill out such a jacket.
Got his ass.
See, Uli?
I love how Uli perches on the back of the couch, too.
How's it go again?
Those committed to the rights of property are those most apt to violate them.
He's not wrong. His companion nods emphatically.
Steban, Ulixis, Why do those names ring the faintest of bells?
Oh, duh. Vox Orbis is a play on Og Vorbis, which is a media file. It only took me a few hours for that to register with me.
Probably because they're the real names of Nazteb and Exilus, the authors.
Oh yeah, the news stuff.
You read. You should get to the bottom of this when you have the chance.
I assumed it was Maurice who broke into my room to play a trick on me. I didn't think I'd actually been raided by the
I'll give you your coat back.
There is surprise in his voice, naturally. But is that a note of excitement you also detect?
So do you want your jacket back?
Absolutely not. You have to keep it.
Okay.
Can you imagine the look on Maurice's face when he finds out the RCM has been...
He'll shit himself. Positively.
And now they've shown up in force to break up our meeting.
He rubs his hands together excitedly.
Something tells me these young men are not very experienced with law enforcement.
Look, we're not here to break up your meeting. We want to join your meeting.
The RCM wants to join us?
A quizzical expression.
My partner, of course, is acting in a strictly personal capacity, not as an official representative of the RCM.
Interesting. Does that mean you've done the reading?
Uh-oh. No one said anything about reading.
Oh no.
Wing this one.
There must be some misunderstanding. No one mentioned any reading.
Well, this is getting awkward. I'm not sure what you're expecting to find here then.
I don't know either.
There's profound consternation in his voice. You suspect it's about something bigger than your not having done the reading.
I like the art on the wall too there.
He can explain themselves.
Okay. What exactly are you two doing here?
In the most generous sense, I would say we're cultivating revolutionary consciousness.
Okay.
Yes, that's probably the best way to describe it.
But more specifically, we are running a reading group.
Oh, okay.
The most rigorous and theoretically advanced materialist reading group in Martinaise.
This is why Cindy was taunting us.
Comrade Steban is a great discussion leader. One of the best at the university.
He's a debate bro.
It's obvious they take this group of theirs extremely seriously. Whatever you do, don't compare it to a common book club.
Immediately compares it to a common book club.
Can you imagine anything duller than a bunch of Beano-clads yanking each other's knobs?
Okay. Sounds like a place for intense intellectual engagement. Exactly my kind of jam.
The world is so shallow, all noise and repetition. We're interested in genuinely radical critique.
I should hope so.
Precisely. We are not interested in senseless parroting. We like to read critically.
So far, a good sign.
In the contours of Mazovian historical materialism, of course.
Okay. I didn't realize they taught radical Mazovian theory in the universities.
As though you can call that pablum teaching.
One thing you learn quickly at university is that you're not going to find a real education in any lecture hall or discussion seminar.
Not untrue.
We are post-attendance, basically.
Exactly. The only worthwhile part of the so-called École Normale de Revachol is the library. That's where we've made our greatest critical strides.
Okay. So, what does your reading group actually read?
We study all the foundational texts of Mazovian theory, of course. Just last week, we finished the second volume of Puncher and Watman's Innocence of Capital.
Truly extraordinary.
And before that, we spent 6 weeks on State and Plasm.
For some reason, the word plasm catches in your ear.
I feel like
Old wax.
my controller's getting on my nerves, but I feel I'm debating whether the wheat counts are because they talk too much about everything, or if it's your typical like brick of a tome.
Uh-oh. You can feel your attention span rapidly deteriorating.
All right. Let's keep listening.
So read Wertmüller's The Megastructure of History, and before that, Real and Reality.
Communist theorists love puns, in case that wasn't obvious.
This is true.
Arblaus.
All right.
The original Fisdale translation, not that worded-down revisionist garbage.
These two deserve the Order of Honor for bullshitting. Actually read all this stuff.
Obviously.
But, of course, our special emphasis is on the theories of Ignis Nilsson and his followers, especially the inframaterialists.
Alright. Wait, who are these inframaterialists?
Familiar with him? It's pretty advanced stuff. You may not be ready for it yet, Gendarme.
The two young men exchange skeptical side glances. Okay, but then who's this Ignis Nilsson guy?
Razumazov's most trusted lieutenant, the evangelist of the revolution, and the founding father of the People's Republic of Samara.
It's hard to overstate how
It's supposed to be a Lenin Trotsky vibe.
never heard of this world historical individual.
He also happens to be the greatest communist theorist after Mazov himself. It was Nilsson who first postulated the existence.
Or is it supposed to be a Marx-Lenin
It
vibe?
forms the basis of inframaterialist theory.
Those words again. You've got to find out what this inframaterialist stuff is all about. Whatever it is, one thing's perfectly clear. These young students have a much deeper understanding of communism than you do.
Well, yeah, I drank my brain dead, so...
Learn a thing or two from them. If you can convince them, you're one of them.
Let's go.
Man sighs. His companion looks about furtively.
Okay, where's the rest of the reading group?
What do you mean? This is the reading group.
So there's just two of you?
We're in something of a rebuilding phase.
Some of our former comrades didn't have the ideological fortitude our work demands.
But what happened to them?
Intellectual attrition is maybe the best way to describe it.
They got burnt out?
Felix said he couldn't keep up with the reading on top of his classwork. And Susanna wanted to read text other than Mazovian theory. Like novels, if you can believe it.
You've got to accommodate for art in your
Imagine the audacity
theory.
of
Like, come on.
read a novel in a reading group.
Alright, maybe you just haven't found the right group yet?
I've tried recruiting new members, but unfortunately the current intellectual climate is pretty hostile to inframaterialist thought. These days, if you're on the left, the ascendant schools are the Godwaldians and their iconoclasts.
Don't forget about Maurice and the turnips.
Right. Then there was the whole turnip debacle.
Okay, what's so bad about the Gutwaldians?
They're the most depressing school of communism. They love writing long books with a patina of Mazovian theory to cover up their cheap psychologizing.
A gang of cheap psychologists and intellectual midgets. Typical Gottwalders, in other words.
It's okay for Uli to say that because his dad is from Gottwald.
Okay. What's so depressing about their theories?
Gottwald school believe that intellectuals as a class are incapable of sparking revolutionary change. So all they can do is critique capitalism from inside itself.
In other words, they have lost faith in their own relevance.
Thanks, Logic.
That's why they spend all their time smoking cigarettes and writing long works of criticism that make you want to commit suicide.
Sounds rewarding, actually.
If it were, they wouldn't keep committing suicide.
Oh.
You see, the Gottwald school look like communists. They talk like communists. But scratch the patina.
I've definitely heard material from some people like that. Okay, but what about the iconoclasts?
For starters, they love talking about beans.
What's wrong with beans? I like beans.
Oh, sure. But iconoclasts are obsessed with beans. They love thinking about beans. They love counting beans. But most of all, they love building models to predict how many beans there'll be in the future.
Is this the linen coats angle?
Nota bene, iconoclast is
Yeah.
an extra pejorative form of the already pejorative name, Mazovian economists, a moderate school of Mazovianism which advocates the gradual transition to communism through carefully violent
Incrementalism.
They're by far the most bean-centric school of communism.
Ah, yes.
It's a good backcurrent to have, but it's not going to get the job done.
Ensconced in their think tanks and high-rises, believing they can save the world through a series of incremental, assiduously technocratic reforms.
Okay. But isn't it good to know how many beans there are?
You're already falling for that scarcity logic. You start off assuming there aren't enough beans to go around. So naturally you want to cut the bean rations.
No, everybody gets beans.
The next thing you know, there are budget cuts, so now we've got to cut the bean rations in half again. You see, iconoclasts claim to be communists, but in reality they're just liberals with hard-ons for spreadsheets.
Alright. What about the liberals? Are they liberals too?
The only people who
we're gonna get homosexual underground right before I bust out the tunes. Okay. The only people who actually call themselves liberals are malforming reactionaries. Yeah.
Indistinguishable from fascists.
Yeah.
You need an X-ray machine to tell the difference.
Yeah. All right. And even that way, I can tell you're a liberal by your bones. Oh man. What about Cindy? Is she part of the group?
Cindy is... How to describe her role?
Something of an ideological auxiliary, perhaps.
Yes, that's exactly how I would put it. And naturally, we support her radical counter-liberal aesthetics.
But she refuses to submit an essay, so we can't call her a member of the group per se.
That doesn't stop her from using the room for studio space, of course.
Oh, so the art's hers. Alright. Something about turnips?
It's an unfortunate story. You see, our ex-comrade Maurice is something of an economist.
He's studying macro and microeconomics.
My condolences.
Well, a real intellectual, it sounds like.
Lieutenant arches his eyebrows.
Right. So a few weeks ago, we were discussing the extra physical capabilities of the revolutionary state. And Maurice said... What were his exact words, Ulex's?
It was unbelievable. He said,
Oh, it's a play on the name Ulysses. Okay.
They are grown by communists, moralists, or Vulcan. They grow just the same.
Basically, he was rejecting the whole foundation of inframaterialist theory.
What is this inframaterialist business they keep blathering about? You've never heard of anything like it.
Remind me what inframaterialist theory says about turnips again?
Simply that under suitably revolutionary conditions, crop yields naturally
shut me down.
increase relative to non-revolutionary crops, which Morris somehow has the gall to deny.
I mean, if you include better care for the earth and the ecosystem around you, then yeah, it would increase yields, I would think.
Sana said that he has been hanging out with some non-communists lately.
Oh no.
For us, the question boiled down to, if you don't even accept the basic ideas of Nielsen and inframaterialist theory, why are you in the reading group?
Alright, so you expelled Maurice from the reading group over an argument about turnips?
Well, it wasn't so much that he was expelled.
He just quit coming. We haven't seen him around for weeks.
Alright, I've heard enough. Let's talk about something
Go
else.
ahead.
Does this reading group have anything to do with the lynching?
Lynching? No. We're not an operational cell.
We're not Black Bloc,
Think
okay.
of ourselves as more of an intellectual vanguard.
Okay. Are there any operational communists in Martinez? Actually, affiliated with the Union, lost that.
We're an independent organization. We acknowledge and respect the Union's efforts, but our interests are more theoretical than Mr. Clare's.
He speaks the truth.
Good. Alright. Are there any operational communists in Martinez?
No, unfortunately, the communards were hunted down and killed nearly to a man. All that's left of them are bones and old rifles.
I'm a little interested in old rifles, but that's too
It's a
bad.
world historical nightmare, one from which we've yet to awaken.
A moment of silence. They're waiting for you to speak.
What were you doing with those matchboxes just now?
The young man frowns at the little pile of boxes on the floor.
Nothing, just messing around until the meeting started.
They're watching those matchboxes awfully intently for two guys who are just messing around. It's almost as though they were trying to create the most unstable structure they could, with predictable results.
Alright. You two wrote that article in La Fumée, didn't you?
You've read our article.
The first time since you met the young man, word seemed to desert him.
That I did not expect.
His companion is blushing now, a sheepish grin on his face.
The energy in the room has shifted ever so slightly in your favor. They're afraid they've somehow embarrassed themselves in front of you.
Well, don't keep us on tenterhooks. What did you think of the essay?
The delicate egos on these boys. Even though you're just some cop, they're desperate for your approval. Hey, you're not just some cop. You've got highly developed critical faculty.
I forgot we came up with edits.
Now's your chance to show them off.
I actually had a few pieces of constructive criticism.
The young man takes the folded up magazine with some hesitation. As he reads over your annotations and emendations, a look of deep concentration comes over his face. He has the look of a man spread naked on the operating table. He can feel the cool metal of the scalpel.
Hopefully we can finish this before the ad break hits. I did not expect to go this late tonight, but okay.
His expression isn't wholly unpleasant. A part of him actually seems to enjoy the attention.
What does it say, Steban? I can't see.
They're good notes. A little brutal on questions of style.
As I can be.
About any of it.
Actually, honestly, I have such a loose writing style that I try not to get hung up on that sort of thing.
Would it be alright if I kept this for a while? I'd just like some time to think about your comments.
Sure.
Thanks. I appreciate it.
Alright. We'll ask about new members after the ad break, and then hopefully I can wrap up with karaoke. Alright, let's finish up this conversation. Is the reading group accepting new members?
We typically only accept new members once per semester. There's this whole process with essays and presentations on assigned topics.
The young man turns to his companion.
But given that we have some extra seating at the moment, I guess we could be convinced to expedite an application or two.
Steban, you can't be serious. For these gendarmes?
I am serious. As materialists, we've got to adapt to conditions as they are.
I'm not sure the music's mixed so loud for this bit, but
Interview portion
it's
of
fine.
the entrance process.
He turns back to you.
Assuming he's even still interested, that is.
Alright. Might as well go for it now, and worst comes to worst, I have some composure stuff I can wear for the next attempt.
Is it getting warm in here? There seems to be a little pool of sweat forming in the depression of your lower back.
It's because I don't do well in interviews.
You're terrible at them. The thought of everyone looking at you, judging you, makes you want to heave, frankly.
Definitely not sweating, no sir.
Excellent work. Now there's a dark handprint on the back of your shirt. Everyone will be able to see the evidence of your overactive sweat glands.
Why am I getting so worked up? They're just a couple of kids.
Frank, they're probably way smarter than you. You bet they've read more books than you can even name. You've been quite studious these past few days. You should be able to handle whatever they want to throw your way. The hardest part will just be working up the nerve to ask without soiling yourself.
Everything all right, gendarme? You look a little green about the gills.
So we need more composure, but that's enough for tonight. Will you still be here if I have more questions?
Sure. We're here most every night. Maybe we'll catch you again.
Alright, so we're composure stuff and you come back tomorrow.
Homosexual underground.
Hell yeah.
Maybe you should stop obsessing about your own and other people's sexuality. Feels like it's about time to do that. You thought about this for 8 hours? Not only should you stop, you should tell Kim you've stopped obsessing about other people's sexuality too. I'm sure he'd appreciate it. Unless you already got him killed because you were obsessing about your sexuality. There's no way of telling from within your brain. But for your own sake, please say you didn't.
No, he's good. Alright, I don't think I have any points to burn right now. We're like right on the cusp though. If I hadn't blown that check, we probably could have gotten it. How do they think about the cracked spider out across the floor? There we go. Rickety easel is surrounded by pots of gouache. Seen these, no doubt. Actually, I might be able to do a composure now. No war but class war. Under the cobblestones, communism. Coffee. What is that? Ooh, reflective construction vest. Okay, yeah, let's drop into composure. Because I definitely want to do a communism, and then, yeah, change clothes. Better endurance with the vest, but I don't need that right now. Alright, so what do we have at boost composure? Maybe we can bang this out before I call it a night. Composure's yellow, right? Yeah. Don't wear the itchy pants. Oh, they're harder to dance in, so that would have made my life more difficult. Alright. Okay. That might be enough to do it. And then the next experience point we get, I'll probably slot another thought.
The gendarme returns. What do you need?
There we go.
What's there to be scared of? You've really been cracking the books these last few days.
Have we?
Go toe to intellectual toe with any reading group in Martinez.
Let's go.
Spend a not inconsiderable amount of time arranging the works in your mental.
Oh, and the encyclopedia checks will probably be fast and furious. I'll probably get some good cash out of it, too.
Ideas and references you'll need are ready at hand.
Alright.
Now, chin up. You've got this.
Alright. This is just the group I've been looking for. When do we start?
You want to start now? Sure, we can manage that.
You've caught him off balance. The momentum is already in your favor.
Hell yeah.
Go ahead and take a seat. Since we haven't had time to prepare an exhaustive questionnaire, I think we can keep this interview more freeform.
I just noticed it's almost midnight. I'll save the karaoke for another day, for like tomorrow.
Tell us a bit about the books you're interested in, and we'll just see where the conversation goes.
Okay, like you guys are really into political and historical subjects.
Absolutely. It's the only proper foundation to develop a real understanding of events.
Alright. He's going to be disappointed by this one, but there might be something to that. I recently finished The Greatest Innocence.
Don't think I'm familiar with it. Give us a quick summary, if you don't mind.
Okay.
This is a good start. They're starting to loosen up. You feel relaxed.
God, it's way after midnight.
In control. You quickly gloss Lopez de Fuego's essential argument, peppering it with your own commentary and asides, like a river emptying.
I'm glad we read it, though. It gave me something to talk about.
Winds its way toward the character of the Innocence herself.
But then, any critical account of Dolores Day's reign has to seriously reckon with her atrocities in Margaretania and La Vuelta during the Mesque secession, don't you think?
Yeah, I'm a little rusty on my innocent history, so it was helpful for me. Or actually, Lopez de Fuego seems he was pretty great regardless.
Nonsense. The greatest thing Dolores Day ever did was get blasted by her own terrier.
If he wants a real critical history, he's got to read on the material conditions of the Mirovan Boilermakers.
Can I borrow that?
He's so good. Brutally revelatory.
Can I borrow that?
These kids are eating out of your
Hell yeah.
Practically. Another quarter of an hour disappears.
I'm not going to get to bed till 1 a.m., but this is starting to reflect real life.
Everyone.
Alright.
Now you can sense things starting to slow down. The interview must be reaching an inflection point.
But to Comrade Ulix's point, isn't there value in reading really difficult books, just for the sheer challenge of it?
Listen, books are fine and all, but to be straight with you, they're no substitute for a real story.
Okay, we'll bite. What sort of stories are we talking about?
Let's just say the human body starts to do some weird things when it's been in a tree for 7... I don't want to talk to him about the body, though. Have you ever heard of the sudden onset acute amnesia?
We're getting into the psychiatric pathologies of life under capital.
There we go.
Let's see where this goes.
Yes, I'm rather curious myself.
Now you're getting somewhere. These boys aren't even bothering to contain their interest. They want to see how you weave the threads of this story together.
I'm just trying to imagine what it would be like to wake up with no concept of what money is.
That'd be awesome.
If you encountered it in a novel, you'd say it sounded like a plot contrivance or like a fantasy.
But isn't the point that money is itself just a collective fantasy?
Perhaps. But it's a fantasy that pays for things. Like your hostel bill.
No. It's just like Mazovro. The freeman of the future will be he who awakens in perfect ignorance of capital.
Wait, Steban, are you saying the gendarme is some kind of future?
Fuck yeah. Let's go, baby.
Another quarter of an hour disappears. The conversation bounces back and forth. Whatever.
I was going to run late regardless, even if we'd been on time, so...
Craving something real. Now you can sense things starting to slow down. Time to wrap this tale up.
And anyway, even if you could somehow unpeel time, it wouldn't be The you that gets rich from those investments.
That would imply that whenever you unpeel time, you leave behind some kind of doppelganger in now time.
Okay.
Good God. Have we really been talking about unpeeling time for a quarter hour?
I suppose we'll have to leave it there. But listen, Gendarme. We could use someone with your breadth of...
I can't believe I just BS my way into a communist book club.
...theoretical background. I think you'll be able to make some real contributions.
Fantastic.
I would say he's got serious potential at least.
And with that, welcome to the most ideologically advanced materialist reading group in Martinez. Here's your first assignment. It's an overview of inframaterialist theory. A little basic, as you'll see, but one has to start somewhere.
I'll say nothing and just take the book.
We'll be here pretty much every night after 10 p.m.
Okay.
Do be sure to take your time with...
So you can use that to burn some time then.
Eager to hear your thoughts.
Alright. Where do the art supplies? I'm guessing these pots of gouache belong to Cindy.
Yeah, it's hers. She just sort of moved it all in a few months ago.
She said if she's going to make truly radical art, she needs a suitably radical workspace.
And I don't think she could afford rent at an actual studio.
Alright, do you like her art?
Oh, sure. It's definitely interesting, I would say.
Interesting. Isn't that just binoclard for I don't have a real opinion?
I'll let it ride.
I guess you could call her latest stuff a sort of counter-bourgeoisie calligraphy. She's got a real taste for radical slogans.
It's too bad she hasn't developed the theoretical foundation to do truly radical work.
I think she'll get there, though. She's still looking for a subject equal to her ambitions.
Alright, now I'm wondering, what's the deal with this place?
The deal? At a fundamental level, I guess you could call it the shattered bones of a dream crushed by capital.
A feeble and hopelessly mixed metaphor.
That's really good, Steban. You should save that for an essay.
Thanks, Uli. When the idea is sound, the words just sort of flow.
Catching ideas. The Lynchian way.
Now keep developing the idea.
Alright. I think it's mixed. Here we go. I heard these used to be luxury apartments, million real views, that sort of thing.
It could be. It would explain some of the more ornate detailing. But we're speaking in world historical terms here. What this place represents, not what it merely was.
I think the Weevils would have been one.
Yawns, evidently bored by literal reality.
Okay.
The deal?
We can do the Weevil thing.
Thanks,
Yes. Now...
Yeah, that's not bad.
Alright.
Not as good as Steban's original idea, though.
Okay, let's move on. It's pretty much everything. Alright. Leave. Alright, now we're done. It's time to go to bed. No karaoke tonight. So, cue it up for tomorrow. Cindy, have anything to say now that we got in?
Hello again, officers. Have you come to admire my mural?
Found some drugs in the coal room. Yours?
They just might be. Rough stuff. If you take the ride, you'd be wise to buckle your little pig belly up.
Her neurons must be on fire. The heat creating waves and ripples in all she sees. Above all, in her painting.
Alright, does it make you see everything all art-like?
You really think I need to be high to see the world as art? Poor unimaginative piggy. How I wouldn't want to have your...
And that's why it sucks whenever you say, what drugs were they on when they came up with this about something?
It's all about the high anyway.
No, it's about the art. Alright, so, we're going to call it a night. We're going to have Kuno's dad to deal with. Third of the way to another level, which is good. Get back any empathy-related clothing, because we still got to talk to that one guy in the morning. I guess I could put on some of the RCM stuff and talk to Glasses guy. But again, when I wake up. Jack was over before this one, huh? Okay. Wait. Stairs. We're gonna go out. But yeah. I'm not gonna keep Kim up any later than I already have. I think this is the long way around, but whatever. So yeah, next time. Kuno's dead. What else? We got the dice. I think we're gonna re-roll at this point. Oh yeah, the fun lights aren't even on anymore. Anything to say now that we finished that thought? Nope.
Bye-bye, gendarme.
Oh, even the cook, man, he gets the piece out after the night's up.
You see a heavy steel door with a prominent, the cobalt, it leads to a side, the door, the cobalt, old cobalt, it leads to a side.
I'm worried we might have to do that favor for fuckface, but... I'd really rather not, if possible. Pretty sure we paid for today in the morning, so that's fine. Oh yeah, duh. Select the stairs. Honestly, I think the next day's a Friday anyway, so that'd be a better, or at least more thematically appropriate night for karaoke anyway. Oh, what do we have to do for a cells thing? Reaction speed. I've got some clothes for that, so maybe. I guess you can only do the salmon and butter thing if you, Oh.
Yes?
Oh, the sexuality thing. Big news, Kim.
Okay.
I managed to stop obsessing about my sexuality.
Great. Imagine all the time you'll have for work now. Matter of fact, we should get back to it right now.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Just one thing, though.
What?
Are you part of the homosexual underground?
You didn't stop at all, did you? You are just obsessing about other people's
I
sexuality.
didn't mean to do this with him in his room, but yeah. Yeah, but...
But am I? I'll spare you another 20-hour mind project. Yes.
There it is.
Now let's get back to work.
That's the truth.
Old man Yowie confirmed. Alright. Okay. I don't think there's anything we can do with that.
Stands broken, and it's. You see some lights. You see some lights.
There's nothing besides looking out. I'm leaving. I just don't know why it shows up as yellow. Usually that implies there's more to do. But whatever. Okay.
The bed is still cold from the broken window, and not too inviting. But it's yours. You've earned it.
Good night.
The room behind your closed eyelids is familiar now. The only home you've ever known. Its darkness gathers. The last thing you hear is the wind blowing in through the broken window. Then something comes. A kind of sleep.
I wonder if we sleep better in the shed too, because maybe the window's not broken. Oh, there we go.
Sleep pulls you out of the world and into its dark shore. The rough mesh chafes. Tightening around you, it digs into your brain.
Dark shore my ass. I know what this is.
How have things been going for you out there? Helped anyone lately? Saved anyone lately? Murdered anyone lately?
All great ways to taunt a cop.
This bastard isn't even listening to you.
Because you know you are a murderer. A disco music listening psycho killer who offs poor people and then forgets about it.
Okay, so I'm a murderer, and that's bad.
Hear that? He doesn't even flinch. Iceman doesn't care about killing people.
That's nothing to him. Blackwater, under the bridge. The thing he's really scared of is much, much worse than that.
What is it? Okay, what is it?
Don't tell him, sister. It's too bad.
Why are you doing this? I just want to sleep. I can almost see the dark.
We're trying to help you. All these processes, these tortures, voices and tremors are all just distractions, flares and countermeasures to keep you from the last dream. The worst of them all.
The last dream?
The last dream will be total annihilation. Cinders peeling off the fuselage. We won't be there to help you anymore, Harry. We will be dormant. You will be naked and alone.
And the air will smell of apricots.
Of hell. An ancient sadness, brother. 10,000 years later, in front of the video rental.
Video rental hasn't come up yet.
There's a warm breath on your face again. Everything is okay again.
Don't think we can actually go back there, but
So okay.
doesn't sound like it'll be okay.
Your eyelids flutter open for a moment. When you close them again, you sense the light of the room around you. You're back. In 2 seconds, the alarm will ring.
The last thought in your head before waking is, maybe you shouldn't have seen that stained glass window in the church.
Uh-oh. I mean, I guess you could help it by completely dodging that storyline, but... Alright. Alright, so we gotta get money for, well, we'll do it next time, but we also need to get money for the fallen pants and my rent. Unless I get the shack, which I might just do. So that is for Friday. Maybe tomorrow if Golden Wake doesn't take long, but... Yeah, that's excellent. I fucking love this fucking game. That's why we ended up here for 6.5 hours. Although I think only 5 of that was disco, but that definitely makes up for not being around for Friday, I'll tell you what. Alright.